Hey everyone, welcome to Inside the AI. I'm your host, Dot, and I want to take 30 seconds of your time to help explain this channel and gain your support. Currently, I am a DBA student at the University of South Florida. And my thesis that I am proposing is how do we restructure businesses to maximize their growth and their potential with a disruptive technology like AI? My thought process was to use tools like n8n, Zapier, Make, or even Relevance AI to build agents to see how we can solve major problems with businesses with AI and automation and start to restructure businesses. So if you can, like and subscribe this channel because we've started a Patreon community where we give these JSONs for free to you, and we will help solve your business problems with AI, automation, and agents. So if you are a small business person, if you're a large business leader, anyone who has a major business problem, reach out to me at insidethealgorithm1@gmail.com, message me your problem, and I can do one of two things. First, I can help solve that problem working directly with you. If that isn't a good option for you, what I can do is solve your problem by creating a workflow and posting a YouTube video to solve that problem for you. So in any event, don't forget, like and subscribe this channel. Join our Patreon community. It really does help grow our channel and help gain your support. Thanks. I appreciate your time. And now here's your video on this AI.
So first to start, we want to go back to our n8n environment. So we have our n8n environment here. We have some instructions up here, and this is going to use the CoinGecko API. So to do this, the first thing we need to do is go back to an overview. And this is going to be where you start your workflows. So to start your workflow, what you want to do is create a new workflow. And so as always, this is the most frustrating thing, rename it, because I have so many of these that I can't remember what their names are. And so it will be extremely challenging if you don't. So I'm going to put CoinGecko email automation. I'm just going to put auto, and then I'm going to put video so I know to delete this. So once I click out of this, now it has it saved, and we have to start here. So this is where it's extremely exciting about what we can do with agents and AI and automation. Essentially, when you work, you have a trigger. A trigger can be an email. It can be many different things, but essentially a trigger is how you start this workflow. So, if you have an imagination, anything can be a trigger of how you start something. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to set a time-based trigger. So what we're going to do, what we need to do first is click the plus, and then we're going to put, let's do a trigger manually. So this is going to, when you're developing, this is what you want to do. You want to do trigger manually. So you can just click it and start executing. So on the first thing we need to do is we need to do an HTTP request. And what this is going to do is it's going to request some information from a website. All right. So this is the link that we're going to request the information from. And so it's going to be an API to CoinGecko.com. And I'll show you how it looks, and you can take a screenshot. So anything that I do here, what I would advise you to do is to open your ChatGPT. You open this up, take a screenshot of this, and just tell ChatGPT to rewrite it. That would be the easiest process for you to remake this. Once you do that, this node is done. So because we're going to do a couple of them, we need to copy this. The easiest thing would just be to copy, and then we can just do Control V and it pastes a new one in. So because we know that we have 4 that we made for this workflow, we'll do this a couple of times. So I'll do Control V, Control V. And now we have the 4 that we need. Now, this can also get confusing because if you don't rename the nodes, you will also be a little bit confused when you start to troubleshoot. So what you want to do is you want to open this one back up, and you want to name this. This is going to be extract crypto data 1. So then we can name 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to name it this because it's something easy that we can copy again. And now we can paste it down here. So we can paste this here. And now we have number 2. And now here's the link for this URL. Go ahead and copy and paste this one in. Then the next one is going to be 3. And then we have the last one, which is 4. Then I'll delete this one and put 4. And so now we have these set up, but what's going to happen is it's only going to execute that first one. So we need to grab this plus right here. And this is going to give us the ability to draw another line, and we can connect our workflow of how it's going to run. So now if we execute this, we will see some data come through. So now let's just click execute. And now this is executed and it has and received data. So now when we open this up, we can open this first node again, and we see we have the execute, which is the input over here. It tells the node to go to this API and gather some information, or return some information. And this is the information it returned. It returned an ID, the symbol, the name, images, current pricing, market cap, all of this. So now this is a lot of information that we can use to build reports on and sell these reports, or build reports and build a dashboard, which we can sell access to. There's many things that you could use this for. So if you want to make a newsletter, if you want to make a report system where you can email reports to people daily, this is a good template to do this. And then what will happen is you can email them and sell them a report. So the next thing we need to do is we need to clean the data. Okay, so this is very important. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we need to do a code node. And what code node to me is one of the most powerful things within n8n. This code node can be created to do many things. In this case, what we're doing is we're cleaning the data. I'm going to copy this in, and I'm going to show you so that you can copy what it does. Okay, so if I open this up, what I want you to do is I want you to take a screenshot of this, and then just tell ChatGPT to rewrite this word for word and copy and paste it in. Basically, this is going to clean the data so that we have it in a usable format. So now once we do that, we want to copy this, and we're going to duplicate this 4 times. Now, again, this is an easy way to do this, but you could make this 50 to 60 or 70 and then make it so that people can pay you for this, the data you're extracting, right? So your analysis of it. So what makes you more unique than anyone else is how you use the AI to do this. So the next thing we need to do is we need to do an edit node. Okay, this is another great tool. If you don't know what this one is, it's an edit fields. This node is very useful. What we want to do is we want to give it the opportunity to map manually. So we're going to keep this as map manually. You have to click in here. And so what this is going to do is we're going to put this as what you want it to be. So this is the name of what this is. It doesn't do anything except tell it the name. So this is a chat input. And then we're going to give it the information that we need. So I'm going to, again, give you this, and then you can copy this and you can put it into ChatGPT so that it could create this word for word for you. If you don't want to do that, just go to my community on Patreon and download this via my Google Share Drive. You do have to get access, so just bear with me and I'll give you access. And you can get all the JSONs that I've created, and I'm building them out one by one. So now, again, as always, copy this, paste it in. So now we have 4 of them. And then we connect them one by one. And you see how we're building this out. So now, working inside of n8n, this is like an automation system where we don't want to make it overly complicated. It's very easy. Copy and paste these things across the board. And then you use these as a workflow, and it's very easy. So the next thing we need to do is integrate AI systems. So now we go here and we want to type in chain. And so now we have a chain basic LLM. And so from this, we have the connected trigger. If you see this is red, meaning it has an error. The reason this has an error is because we need to connect Google Gemini. So if we go here, we can go to Google Gemini and we can click this right here. And so we already have our Gemini account created. So just go to Google Gemini and then you pick the right model. You pick the right model and you're good to go. So now this works. It doesn't have to be Google. This is interchangeable. So what you can do is you can delete this and you can go to OpenAI. And then you can also use the OpenAI one, right? So now this one is connected. The AI becomes arbitrary where you can change it and work what works best for you. So now I'm going to go back in. I shouldn't have done that. So if I go back and press Control V, I get my Gemini back and I can connect it. So now when I do this, what I want to do is I want to open this back up. And then this, so what's happening here, so you understand what this is doing is, this is going to take the JSON input from the chat input, right? So what that means is what we did in this execute node, this right here, this information that we just used, this is going to get pushed in to this chat window so that you can use this and you don't have to prompt it every time, right? So you can do this many ways, but this is a useful way for me. The reason this is useful is because if I keep creating over here, what I can do then is I can use this to build more chains over here by using the drop down. And I'll show you how that works. So now I can copy this again and then paste it 4 times, actually 3 times. And now once I connect these, I just have to connect the Google Gemini. Just click this one, close it back out. Let me zoom out a little. And then this will give us some space. So if you open this up like this, I can take this whole thing right here and I can move everything up. I can do the same here. Just give me some space to work. Now the same thing I can do here, and then I can click this, go here and click Gemini. Sorry if I'm going fast. I start going fast because I'm so used to working in this environment. So I can lower this and then I can take the Google and put it back. Now we have to put one more Google and now we are good to go. So now this is completed, easy to go. The next thing we need to do is put in the, you can do Outlook. So what I wanted to show you was there's many different ways that you can transfer this. So you can do it in an email. So if I just click email, I have Microsoft Outlook, and then I can go down here to send an email. So we're sending an email. So you have send a message. You just click this. You put who you want to send it to. So let's send it to inside the algorithm 1@gmail.com. That was the first name of this channel. You can put here and put crypto report. So basically whatever you want to write as. And it will just, you can just put it like daily crypto report, right? And so someone's paying for that. You can just put that in there. And then the message, you want to leave it blank, right? So what you want to do now is you want to run this to here. What's going to happen is we have the information going through and now it's going to hit an error and then it'll stop. And the reason we want to run this to here is we want to get the data to get pushed here. So see everything executed, but we didn't execute this one. So now this helps and it's very easy. What we do next is we just take this and drop it here. And then now this is completed. So now this will send this email with this information here. So what I would do to make this better which isn't in the JSON, is I'm going to work on this on the fly, and I'm going to show you how this works. I would go here and go to the code node, and then what I would do is I would ask the AI. Actually, I'm going to show you what I would normally do. So I would go here and I would go to ChatGPT. I open a new prompt and I would say, you are an expert in N8N and you specialize in creating custom nodes. The node I need you to create is a code node, which will delete asterisks from the data it receives. Create the JavaScript for this. Then I will click the check mark, which writes what I just said. Click execute. Now, an important feature within ChatGPT, if anyone doesn't know, the new version automatically downgrades to 4.0. So if you want it better, it doesn't default. So you have to go here. But this will work for us. So what I can do is click this, copy it, go into the code node, and click here. Now, n8n is so powerful that if you execute this and it hits an error, which it probably will, it will fix it for you. But this one did not. And so if we notice right here, we have the asterisks. Here, we don't have any asterisks. So this looks way better already. So now we can execute this. And now we have a better result. So now we have the email that gets sent out, and this is the email that got sent. So now let's do that again with the code node, right? So now we have this cleaned. What we're going to do next is have one more code node. I told you code node is the most powerful node you're going to use. And then what we can do is I can copy and paste this. So let's do this again, and I'm going to show you how I would do it with ChatGPT. I click this plus again. And so now what I want you to do is create a custom code node that will create a report in HTML that I can send out in an email. What I want this report to do is be very bright, vibrant in color. I want it to have separated sections that are engaging and have modern look. I want it to be professional and use vibrant colors in this. So now this is going to create another node. Let's experiment and see what it does. But I think it's going to be very powerful and I think it's going to work. The custom node in n8n is very useful. So now this is writing the script for me. All I have to do is copy this and paste it in. And then normally what I do is I test it out. But what we'll do together is we will put it the test and compare the two emails to see how they look. So now I have this. What I want to do is I want to move it down here. And then I want to have this go to this one-on-one. The reason is this does not allow you to send an HTML email. The Outlook does not let you send an HTML. So you can't use a code node to send a customer report. You just send an email. But we can in Gmail. So in Gmail, I want to send a report. And now I do the same thing inside the algorithm one at gmail.com. And then I can put daily crypto report. You can also automate this process with ChatGPT and have it create a new crypto report every day, but that would waste tokens. So I didn't want to do that. So now what I would do is I would execute to here. I'm going to hit an error. So it just hit an error. So let's hit this right here. And now it's going to run through. Now, another thing that I want to mention is as you're running this, I'm using some tokens in Google Gemini. It's not a big deal for me. I have money loaded on here. But when you're building, this is very wasteful. So I just wasted a couple tokens, but it's not a big deal to me. What I can do is I can open this up and I can pin the data. So as I'm working in it, I pin this data here And then every time I execute, it will not keep executing. So that's very important to know. So now I hit an error. I knew this was going to happen. The error is because I don't have a message. So now I want to take this HTML, put it here, and now I'm going to re-execute it. And so now it got sent. And so now I'm going to wait a second just so that it can be cleared. And I love to hear myself talk. So, that helps. And I go here. I have one email in the inbox. So here is the first one. It has the asterisks that kind of tell that it's AI, and it's kind of white and plain. Let's see what came up with the second one. So now here's the new one. That does not look any better. So now let's go back to the code node, and this is where we will make this a little better. And this code node is not very good because it's saying sent. So what I will do is I'm going to take the old one that I had, and I'm going to modify it. I'm going to show you how I modified this one, and you can modify the one that I have. So this will be more realistic because when you get the JSON, you can download this and do it this way. So now I'm going to paste the code node here. So now this is the code node information that's inside of it. So I copied it and I pasted what was inside the code node into ChatGPT. And then I'm going to hit this so I can talk to it. Take this script and add colors to it. Separate the report into different sections and have each section have its own color. I want the colors to be vibrant and colors throughout each part of the report. All right, so now we have put that in there and we took this script and we added more colors to it. Let's see what happens to the n8n node when we do that. So this is how we iterate and make it better each time. What I want to do is hit execute. Actually, yeah, you got to unpin that. So now it's executing this. Now we can send another email. Let's see how this email comes out. All right, so here's the email. Oh, that's a little better. So now you can keep building on this so you can see that we have a report. You can take out the date and time. You can make the date and time bold. You can bold certain things. I would make this report very different, but it's a good start. So now what I would do if I'm going to work inside of this, I would take this right here, Control C, Control V, and now I have four of these. I can just keep adding in. So now I have 4 of these I can keep adding in. Here is the last one. And then all I have to do is execute this. Now I won't execute this because if I did execute this from here, it's going to send me 4 emails. And then it's going to use each one of these. So this is why when I'm making it, I make one row and then I make, one connection. I work with this data. I know everything else is going to work. So then when I hit save, it's going to work and function. So so overall, this is the automation. There's many things you can use with this. You can also send this to a dashboard where you can manipulate the data and present it to someone. You can send out reports and charge people some of these reports for your information. And so so I'd be interested in seeing how some of you are using this to generate some revenue. So comment below some ways that you are using this to create revenue for yourself, for your business. Thanks. I appreciate your time.